Welcome to True Image Fitness.
Your resource for lifestyle, fitness, and motivation.
Here is your host, Vance McDaniel.
Hey, what's up, fitness fans? How are you doing today? I want to continue on, and maybe I will do this for this entire week, but I really want to talk about and really stick to the topic of self-love and what that means, what self-love means. Because I think we've kind of taken that term and we generalize it to the point where we include unhealthy behaviors and unhealthy things in our life, and we were like, oh, well, it's self-love, so as long as I want to do it, it's something that makes me feel good, or I'm good with it, or I'm embracing this aspect of my life, and therefore it's self-love. And that is not what self-love is. There are some things in life that are black and white. Your body, your biological machine. There are black and white realities to your level of health, your risk factors, the things that determine whether or not you're going to have heart disease or a brain tumor, or you're going to be more susceptible to cancer. I lose sleep over this kind of stuff because I see so many bad examples of how we swung too far in a certain direction. Now, I know that a lot of young women and even boys are pressured to look a certain way, to be thin, or to have certain types of lips, or fall into a mold in order to be accepted. Well, that is just as unhealthy, in my opinion, my expert opinion, as being 100 pounds overweight. We are starting to embrace things like the term, oh, I'm just embracing my body, and that's good from a philosophical standpoint. You should feel good about who you are at all times, no matter what you look like. That is a given. You should never feel like you are less than number one, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you look like, no matter what your job is, no matter what your race is, no matter what your sexual orientation is. You should never feel less than perfect. With that said, once you are feeling perfect, and you should be, that's when you take that energy and you self-empower through action in order to start to improve yourself. Self-empowerment, self-improvement through self-love. You do not continue a bad addiction or a bad habit through self-love. You don't do that. You do not use self-love as an excuse to hurt yourself. You do not use self-love as an excuse to continue things that are not good for you. I just said to somebody, does a heroin addict love themselves? Of course. We all love ourselves. We get up in the morning. We might have demons that we fight. There might be aspects of who we are that we don't like. But at the end of the day, there is love. All of us have different levels of self-love. All of us are at different levels of understanding what that means to us in our lives. That's just part of being human. That's part of the human experience. But we all love ourselves. It does not mean that we are perfect in all aspects of our existence. So that is something that we have to accept and embrace. But you can't be 100 pounds underweight or 100 pounds overweight or addicted to a drug or addicted to food or smoke cigarettes or drank too much and say that that is self-love, because that is not self-love. And I don't want anybody to fall into that pattern, and so many of us do. Don't use self-love as an excuse to continue to do something that's not good for you. Embrace who you are. If you've got some fat rolls, embrace them. It has nothing to do with your self-worth. If you're overweight, if you're too skinny, if you are addicted to a drug, if you do smoke cigarettes, if you do drink too much, has nothing to do with your self-worth. You are a human being, and as long as you take breath, you are worthy. You are loved, you're appreciated. Period. End of story. Now that we've accepted that, let's take that self-love and let's work on some of the things, some of our failings. Let's work on becoming a better entity. Let's work on becoming a better biological entity. Let's work on improving our existence. Let's work on improving ourselves to the point that we can actually enjoy our existence. That we can go out into the world with this biological machine and enjoy the planet, enjoy the things that it has to offer, enjoy the relationships and the connections that we can make. That's what self-love is. Self-love is not continuing to nurture an addiction or a bad habit or something that's holding you back. Self-love is saying, I embrace all of that about myself. Now I'm going to take that self-empowerment and I'm going to improve myself. That's what self-love is. So if you find yourself falling into that mythology, is what I call it, the mythology of self-love being something that allows you to continue to do something that holds you back, snap out of it. Change your perception and understand that you are worthy. Your worth is not dictated by what society says it should be, but there are some things that are black and white. A healthy mind and a healthy body allow you to experience life to the fullest and to open doors and to do things and experience life the way that it was meant to be for this biological entity. Not societal pressures. I'm talking about the black and white of reality, biology. You can't climb a mountain if you're out of breath. You can't watch the sun rise over a scenic valley if you're not able to get out of bed. There are things you can't do, you can't experience. And every experience that you have increases your vision, the horizons that you're capable of reaching. It makes you a better person. And you know what it also does? It makes this a better world. Because that means your interaction is going to permeate to everybody else that you touch. Get up, get out, get moving. You are worthy. And you should stay fit. I'll talk to you soon.